Welcome to the Arizona Wildcats show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Daniel Burke, talking about Arizona's season opener Friday night. Arizona Stadium against the UNLV Running Rebels.
Can we scrap the fireworks?
Oh, you're right. You're not a fireworks
I hate
guy.
those fireworks. Can we just play football?
Quick, Daniel, why does UNLV wear silver and red?
Why?
Because they're the southern school in the state of Nevada. That's why they're the rebels, like the South Civil War.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay, and red and gray. Anyway, moving on.
He knows that, but he can't pronounce Anu.
Anu, not Anu, Anu. Okay, Daniel, Arizona's first depth chart came out yesterday, and I'd ask you what in the name of Makani Kema Kaleavahea is going on here, but that's a mouthful. So we're just going to have to talk about a couple of the different position changes and one very important name change. Let's start with the position changes and some of the depth chart surprises. Daniel, what jumped out at you?
You know, really not a lot. I mean, it was a pretty, I think, standard depth chart because a lot of the position battles that started at the beginning of camp got settled pretty quickly. You look at the cornerback spot opposite Jonathan McKnight. I thought that was going to be a drawn-out battle, and Jarvis McCall really won that job in the first week. So when he was listed as a starter, that wasn't surprising. Nose tackle, I thought that was going to be a big battle, but there was injuries and ineligibility and other things, and so Jeff Worthy won that job right out of the gate. You know, the guard spot, right guard, where Chris Putton left last year, that was kind of for grabs, but Jacob Alsadek won that. So I think, honestly, the biggest thing that, other than quarterback, that I was looking at was place kicker. And so I think Casey Scour winning the job was not necessarily a surprise, but it's intriguing, and I think he's the coolest story on the team. Yeah. You know, go from being the manager of the women's soccer team. He didn't kick field goals until the last game of his high school season as a senior, and now he's going to be Arizona's starting kicker. So he beat out Josh Pollock and then the Virginia Tech transfer Ethan Kaiserling. So I think of all the things, that probably surprised me. The two outside linebacker spots, you know, are a bunch of oars. I think there's 5 oars between the two positions. And so, you know, not a lot settled there. So, you know, that didn't really tell us much.
Arizona's depth chart, by the way, had more oars than a Viking ship. That thing was a lot of undecideds, or if they're deciding, they don't want UNLV to know.
Well, you saw the quarterback had 3 oars, and then 20 minutes later, Rich Rodriguez announces that it's Anu Salmon. So, you know, little gamesmanship maybe.
Little gamesmanship, but that's to be expected in week 1. Daniel Burke, I'm going to put on my dork glasses here, because the dorkiest position battle I thought in camp, the one that I was fired up about, was holder.
Really?
Who is going to be Arizona's holder on special teams?
It's going to be, I think, Saguaro High School grad Drew Riggleman.
Beat out Devontae Neal.
Yeah, if you could say beat out for a holder spot. I think we're being a little dramatic here. But, no, I think that's who it's going to be. I think the biggest advantage to that is Devontae Neal does so much that Riggleman can always hold for Scourin and those guys during practice, whereas, I mean, Neal can only do it during the designated periods. I think if anything happens to Riggleman, or he drops a couple or something like that, then you bring in Neal, or if maybe you want to get a little creative, you could do it. But I think Riggleman is, I know you wanted Devontae Neal because you want to run options out of the extra point formation.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yes.
But no, I think it's probably going to be Drew Riggleman.
Trust me, in 8 years of covering football, I think every time somebody lined up for a punt or lined up for a PAT, I'd go fake, 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 fake underneath my breath. I'm not sure it ever happened. Ever once.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This is the Arizona Wildcats show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. Ryan Finley here with Daniel Burke. Daniel, before we leave today, there was a new name on Arizona's depth chart.
Don't make me say it.
Same guy.
Please don't make me say it.
New name.
You say it. You say it. I'll say the first name, Makani. There you go.
Makani Kema Kaleavahea.
The artist formerly
known as Keone Bush Liu. Daniel, you had a great story about Keone a couple of weekends ago and his decision to change his name. You know, in the last month, he's gotten married.
Yep.
He's gone through a full training camp. He's changed his jersey number for the 37th time.
Yeah.
And, you know, he will take the field Friday night almost as a new man. The question is, will he play?
Yeah, he'll play. And he's at one of those outside linebacker spots that I think are up for grabs. You know, at one side you have Ironwood Ridge product Jake Matthews, and he's battling, you know, you have DeAndre Miller, and then on the other side, Cody Ippolito, Keone Bushlew, I'm still calling him for right now until I perfect it.
Kema Kaleavahea.
And Derek Turaturi. So there's 5 guys for 2 spots that'll play a lot. I think the guy who's going to receive the most playing time is Jake Matthews. But yeah, He brings some veteran presence because even inside you have Scooby Wright, who's only a true sophomore.
Right.
So there is not a lot of experience there. But kind of going on a tangent here, one thing that I find interesting, and Rich Rod's talked about this a lot, I don't think he puts a lot of emphasis on experience and leadership and stuff. He said that's why we're here. That's why the coaches are here. So if his 3 best players were true freshmen there, he would do it. So if he plays, it's going to be because he's earned the playing time.
Well, and he clearly puts almost no weight in scholarship status or pedigree.
Right.
I mean, if you look at somebody like Jake Matthews, he's a walk-on.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be a baseball player.
He's supposed to be a baseball player, and now he's earned that spot, and they don't care. Terrace Jones-Grigsby, former walk-on who doesn't have a single carry in his career, is probably going to get the first one. So yeah, I mean, and then they just have different things that they care about. And I asked him yesterday, why don't you just name 4 captains like every other team in America does? And he said his answer was so simple. Well, why'd pick 4 leaders when I could have 19 that lead? And it's just like, it's out of the Andy Lopez school of leadership where every senior can say they were a captain for a national championship team. But yeah, he just does things differently from the leadership to how he, divides playing time. And had walk-on Zach Werlinger been the best quarterback this camp over all these transfers and Anu Solomon, it would have been him.
That's great stuff. For Daniel Burke, who will spend the next 3 days pronouncing Makani Kema Kaleavahea, at least it's not a Tui Halamaka, because there was
No, I got you. I finally got that one. Yeah, Tui Halamaka, I could do that easy.
For Daniel Burke.
Where's Tevin Hood?
The hardest working man in Tucson sports media.
Right.
I'm Ryan Finley. This is the Arizona Wildcats Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. We'll see you next time.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.